Thanks for joining us on our new show. It's called Johnny on the Spot, where we're going to talk about all things precious metals.
Yes, this is sponsored by CMI Gold and Silver. CMI has been in Phoenix since 1973. We are the oldest precious metals firm in the U.S.
You can visit us at our website at cmigs.com. That's cmigs.com.
Or on Instagram, we are CMI Gold Silver, and on Facebook at CMI Gold and Silver.
And you can find us on YouTube by searching CMIGS.
Our topic today is origins of CMI, and essentially the beginning of the precious metals market in the U.S. My father, Bill Haynes, is the founder of CMI Gold and Silver. Back in 1973, he was living in Denver, Colorado. He was a stockbroker, and at that time, there was a horrible bear market in stocks. So bad, he dreaded clients calling in to ask about their spot prices. This was, before the internet, where you could look it up at a moment's notice. You had to actually make a phone call and call in and learn about what your stocks were doing. And so he dreaded having to take those calls.
Always bad news every day.
It was always bad news. Well, one of his clients recruited him to come to Phoenix to sell 100-ounce silver bars. And because of the bear market in stocks, he jumped on that opportunity. So it was known as CMI and previously known as Certified Mint Incorporated. That's where we get the CMI from. So sometimes at that point in time, these would be odd weight bars. Sometimes they'd be 101 ounces, and sometimes they would be 99.25 ounces. Now, at the time in the early 1970s, silver was trading at $2 an ounce.
Yeah, and these backyard bars, the reason they called them backyard bars is, and we've got one right here, is because they actually look like somebody put that together in their backyard. I personally think that they're some of the coolest bars that we get, and this one happens to be 103.52 troy ounces.
Yes, we still see those today. We still have sellers bring those to us, and we still buy those.
Yeah, those are great bars. But soon after that, industry, of course, came into play, and so we see products that are exact weight now. 100-ounce bars range from Johnson Matthey. They're some of the older ones. Engelhard, people that have been investing in silver for a while. These are very common names.
Let's show them a couple of these.
Oh, yeah. So here's
you got a Johnson Matthey.
There's a Johnson Matthey right here.
Okay.
And then this is Engelhard.
This is an Engelhard. Very well-known names.
Yeah, and
in
people
the
really
industry.
like Engelhard, and we'll probably have some show on Engelhard later on. But we've done some stuff with Seth with Engelhard and talk about Oric Engelhard and all of his things. But at any rate, these companies, they started producing these 100-ounce silver bars, and industry standard is they made them 3 nines fine, and that means it's 99.9% pure. Let's see.
Well, today we have other brands that are just as legitimate. We have Asahi, we have Valcambi, even the Royal Canadian Mint came out with a 100-ounce silver bar, and there's other brands available as well. The bigger the bar, you want to mention the bigger the bar, the lower the premium?
Yeah, so essentially, when you're talking about premiums on precious metals, you're looking at a lot of it is manufacturing costs. And of course, it's a lot easier to manufacture one 100-ounce bar versus 100 1-ounce. And so that's why the premiums are always going to be lower on 100-ounce bars versus the smaller. Essentially, the bigger the bar, the less the premium. So if you were to buy bars bigger than that, well, the premium would even be less than what it is on a 100-ounce bar.
Yes, and so the exact weight bars make it very easy to buy, trade, and sell these. Now, in addition to the 100-ounce bars, later down the road, manufacturers started producing other size bars of silver. For example, this is a 10-ounce silver bar, and just to give the radio listeners an idea, this is probably a little bit smaller than one of the older iPhones, maybe an iPhone 4, for example.
And that was so long ago, I can't even hardly remember.
I know, but I found one in the drawer the other day, so that's why I was like, there's an example. So a 10-ounce silver bar about the size of an iPhone 4, and these are very popular. They're very stackable. Very popular product for investing in and stacking silver, because you can buy a little bit at a time and they stack and store quite easily. Whereas other bars, such as, I didn't bring my 50-ounce bar.
We forgot the 50-ounce bar.
They're not so common, but basically they're the half the size of a 100-ounce bar.
I mean, we got some 25-ounce bars, and those are so uncommon. We don't even
have a SKU
for them that keeps track of them, but they're really fun.
These are 5-ounce bars, and these are, again, half the size of a 10-ounce bar. And they're, again, not that common, so when you get them, they're very, very fun. And then, of course, we have 1-ounce bars, which are actually kind of popular. There's also the ability to get a 1-ounce round, which are very, very common. But 1-ounce bars are not so common because it's more.
Seems like the 1-ounce round is going to be a little bit less premium than a bar, even though that kind of is counterintuitive, because the 1-ounce bars, they're not so much traded, and so we see a lot more coinage being traded in the 1-ounce variety, right?
Yes, but the 1-ounce bar is not as common as the round because there is a machine at the refinery that will sort the coins, the 1-ounce rounds, very easily, and they don't have a machine to use to sort the bars.
It all goes back to manufacturing costs.
Exactly, and the production costs.
Yeah.
Now, another bar I'd like to mention is a kilo silver bar, which is 32.15 troy ounces. It's a metric unit. I like it because it has a very low premium over the spot silver, or the amount of money that you pay above the spot silver per ounce.
Sometimes really close to the 100-ounce bar.
Very
if
close.
Not, sometimes the same price.
And part of the reason for that is because as Americans, we just don't understand metrics.
We're afraid of it. We're afraid of a decimal. It's kind of funny.
So 3 of these is about the same amount of silver as one of these 100-ounce silver bars. But when you go to sell something like this back, you can sell all 3 or 1 or 2, versus when you need money and you need to sell your 100-ounce silver bar, you have to sell the whole thing.
Yeah. So soon after your dad started CMI in 1973, shortly thereafter, Americans got the right to own gold. Prior to that, from 1933 to 1974, we were not allowed to own gold. So in 1974, Senator Jesse Helms and Congressman Ron Paul, they ushered a bill that made it basically legal to own gold. It took effect January 1 in 1975. Now, what this did is this nullified the, FDR's confiscation gold that he enacted in 1933. And this is a large topic, and we're just touching on it now, but we will definitely have a show that talks about the gold confiscation and the myths, misunderstandings, and outright lies. And if I just might add this, and this is something I always like to tell people, that Shannon's dad, who has been in the industry so long, I mean, he's like one of the pioneers of the industry, he wrote an article that said that was entitled Myths, Misunderstandings, and Outright Lies. And with today's search engine optimization and Google refining searches and how the bots crawl it, so many people have copied that article that Google no longer thinks it's our original content, which is kind of funny. But it's kind of nice because it's important information. And I might just add before we move on that there's probably more misinformation about confiscated gold than there is correct information.
That's true. That's true. Now, before 1975, gold was fixed at a price of $35 an ounce. But once Americans regained that right, January 1 of 1975, then gold began to move forward and began to move up. And that's where the Krugerrand comes in that Johnny's going to talk about.
We didn't bring the Krugerrand.
We forgot the Krugerrand.
I forgot the Krugerrand. This is the plight of my life. I'm always the guy that forgets it all. But the Krugerrand is really a cool coin. In fact, it's probably one of my favorite coins out there. And the reason being is because, when somebody's talking about a maple leaf, and we'll show you the maple leaf, you probably can't zoom in on that, but there's lots of things that are maple leafs. There's lots of things that are kangaroos, but there's only one Krugerrand. And the Krugerrand was invented or created in 1967, and it has Paul Kruger on the front, and on the back is the rand, which is their the animal that's on the back of it. And so they took
the antelope.
Yeah, the antelope. So they took those two names and they put it together. So when anybody's talking about Krugerrand, they are talking about precious metals versus there
Bullion.
could be
Bullion.
yes,
Bullion gold.
because there's nothing. There's lots of eagles. There's lots of maple leafs. There's lots of stuff like that, but there is only one Krugerrand.
The Krugerrand coins have been designed back in the late 60s for working people and used to help them improve their financial health. It was created as a bullion coin without collectible value.
Correct. Yeah. So the basically it was the original 1 troy ounce gold coin, and why that makes a significance is because metal across the whole world is traded in troy ounces and in dollars. And so this made it really convenient for people to trade an ounce of gold for $35 because it was a round number versus a fractional. You had to do a little bit of math. So this made it really convenient for people to own gold.
Yes, and thousands of gold Krugerrands came into the U.S. in the late 60s, especially in the 70s when Americans got that right back, and also into the 1980s. Now, gold bullion Krugerrand, as well as other gold bullion coins, is our focus at CMI Gold and Silver, because with bullion products, you get the most for your money. It's easy to keep track of. Now, in addition to the Krugerrand, we have the American Gold Eagle that came out in 1986, which is pretty much an exact copy of the Krugerrand. We have other coins that have come onto the scene, like the American Gold Buffalo by the U.S. Mint in 2006, the gold Kangaroo that the Australians brought to us, as well as England. The British Britannia is also a very nice gold coin, as well as the Canadian Mint has lots of gold products. So there's a lot of choices now for gold bullion items.
Correct.
Although the U.S. Mint's Gold Eagle is the most popular and the best-selling in the U.S., the gold Krugerrand, I think, remains the most recognizable around the world because it has been in circulation for so long.
I could definitely argue that. Some of the other bullion items we have, you go into bars, and bars tend to have a little bit less premium than coins because here again, it's the manufacturing cost.
And the mints make money on this. The U.S. Mint would not produce.
Yeah, I mean, if we can go back to that, the U.S. Mint, they started producing this, and they do make money. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this program. And actually, I might add that I think that this is a great program that the U.S. Mint did for our nation. I think it was a great thing, and they're great coins. They were. Did we talk about the design from St. Gaudens? We had.
Not yet. But the Gold Eagle does come from a design that was based on the old $20 gold piece, St. Gaudens, that was designed by Augustus St. Gaudens, the sculptor. And so when the Gold Eagle came out, they just went back to that design. Right. And that's why it's one of the most popular
There's some
designs.
confusion when people call it, and that the $20 gold piece was called the Double Eagle, and it was minted between 1907 and 1933. And sometimes they'll get a Gold Eagle, which is a modern-day Gold Eagle, and they'll still call that a St. Gaudens. But if you get a Gold Eagle that's 1986 or newer, or a gold coin that's 1986 or newer, that is a Gold Eagle, and anything 1933 to 1907 is a St. Gaudens.
Okay.
$20 St. Gaudens.
Okay. So nowadays we have coins. We also have the bars he mentioned because they often have a lower premium. What we mean by premium is what you pay
relative to spot.
Over the spot price.
Yeah. And if we just might tell them what spot is for just a second in case they don't know. I mean, our idea with this show is to help educate people that don't know a whole lot. So if you are educated, then forgive us for some of the information you already know. But basically, spot is the price that gold and silver is traded amongst many entities, mostly central banks across the globe. And that's where we get that spot price.
Okay, but also, just to mention back to the gold bars, we have gold bars in a 1-ounce variety. This is a 10-ounce variety. Every once in a while, we see the 5-ounce gold bar, not as common, very common to have a 10, and we didn't have a kilo in the safe today, so we weren't able to bring it. But a kilo gold bar, just to give you an idea, is going to be the size of a newer iPhone. It's going to be
still 2.2 pounds.
2.2 pounds, so you got to picture 2 1-pound weights in one hand.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, it's very dense. Gold is. So to give you an idea,
it's probably a third the size of this. 2/3 the size of this. This is a third bigger. So that's how much more. And if I might just add, when we're at Barrett-Jackson, that's coming up, we're going to have one come up in October and again in January. Typically, we're going to have a kilo gold bar, and we let people hold it. And that kind of freaks people out because it's about $107,000. Well, I haven't looked at the spot price today, but somewhere between $105,000 and $110,000 for a kilo gold. So,
okay, so let's mention that although we focus on bullion coins, we feel that bullion coins are the best for following your investment easily with the spot price of gold and where the market's going. We also buy and sell numismatic coins.
So tell them what you mean by numismatic, because that may be a new word to some people.
Numismatic is a term used basically for a collectible coin, a coin that has value above and beyond the gold content, where you would start with the spot price of gold and the gold content. But then there is value added for its collectability, its rarity, the condition of the coin, historical significance. It's kind of like an antique or a fine piece of art. There's value in the item because of the artistic value and not just the gold content. So that's
Sure.
An interesting term, numismatic.
Well, and with numismatic coins, you need to be a little bit more seasoned investor to deal with numismatic coins because you are buying those I can explain it this way. Bullion, you're trying to buy it at close to spot as you can. With numismatics, you want to try to buy that premium as close to spot, which is a little bit reversed. And if you call this, we could talk to you a little bit more about that. But essentially, you're trying to get that premium to be the lowest you can before you buy the numismatic. It's a lot more work to buy numismatic coins than it is to buy bullion coins. It's just the way it is. But numismatic coins they're really great. I mean, there's some great history, and I'm sure that we will talk about those in the future. But for this show, for this basic show, I think that's probably sufficient about numismatic. What do you think?
Yes, just wanted to let people know that we do work with numismatic coins.
Yeah, well, should I mention that we kind of are transparent at our office in that we'll share with our clients what our cost is on coins, and we're going to make a couple 2 or 3% over the top of that, and that's buying and selling. But we don't mind showing you what the wholesale pricing is, and you can ask us what's the wholesale price, and we're happy to share that with you, so you can see that it's not as egregious as some might think when buying numismatic.
Well, let's talk a little bit about CMI gold and silver. As I mentioned, we've been around since 1973. That's more than 50 years, and we are the oldest precious metals bullion dealer in the U.S.
Yeah, and we're family owned. I've got to be the richest guy on the planet. I have my wife working there alongside me, and my son and our son and our daughter, and it's a great place to work for a family for sure.
We also have lots of family friends there working as brokers that have been with us, some as much as 20 years, 16 years.
Yeah.
It is very much a family atmosphere.
I just mentioned that they're non-commissioned. If you're doing business with somebody, you need to ask that person if they're a commissioned broker, because likely commissioned brokers sell you things that are good for them and not good for you.
That's a good point, very good point. We also seek to educate our clients with lots of tools on our website. We have blogs, we have articles, we have charts, we have lots of information so that someone who wants to buy gold and silver for the first time can become very educated about it and feel confident about what they're doing.
Exactly. That's our first goal, is to educate people, because there's some mystery. I mean, people don't realize you get to hold this physically in your hand. You get to put it in your safe. You get to touch it, and some people just don't understand how easy it is. It really is very simple to do business with us.
Talk about the CMI service.
So with service, we really focus on helping our clients understand the markets and making the right choices. I mean, basically, there's many times that clients will call in that they inherited some silver, and we'll actually talk them out of selling it because it's not a good time to sell. Or we turn away quite a bit of business actually. But we love to take care of our clients, and we love to have a good experience. And my absolute favorite complaint to get with clients is when they call back after they've received an order to place another one, and they say, wow, it took a chainsaw, 3 hatchets, and a butcher knife to get into that package. And that's what we want to hear. So,
yes. But along with that, there's communication every step of the way during the process of the order. So a lot of our customers are very loyal. About 31% of our new customers come from referrals. And as we mentioned, when you become a client, it's part of the family. We have lots of clients that are been with us for years, and we have clients. We have
third maybe even fourth generation.
Second generation. Their children are buying from us or selling to us as needed. We have second generation going on third generation clients.
Yeah, and it's pretty amazing because, they'll call up and they'll say, my dad talked to Bill, so-and-so, and a long time. And then we see the history, and then we kind of just become friends. I mean,
yes.
We've actually flown out and seen clients. And
Yes, we have. So let's just mention that there's lots of information. You have a blog called Johnny on the Spot.
I do, and my English teachers will, if they ever remembered me, they would be absolutely livid because I think the only writing I did was my name on a blank piece of paper. But it's a lot of fun. And I get to talk about what I want to talk about, but we also have our articles of interest. We've got a plethora of information on the website that just helps you know and understand. Our prices are clearly marked. It's a little bit of a different pricing page, but very, very much geared toward information.
Yes. So I would like to just thank everyone for joining us today and listening in to our new Johnny on the Spot, Decoding the Precious Metals Market, where future topics are going to be, we're going to talk about 90% quote-unquote junk silver coins. A couple other future topics are going to be precious metal storage, as well as understanding spot price a little bit deeper, as well as what the gold-silver ratio is and how people use it when investing or when in gold and silver and how they use it. It's just one indicator, but it's a very interesting indicator.
Sure. And we also have a promotion going on with this show, right?
Yes, we do, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So we're going to be here every Saturday morning, 7:30 at KKNT, or if you want to see us streaming at patriotradio.com. Be sure to check us out. If you missed this one, you can go to patriotradio.com. We always have low premiums, but be sure to check our specials page on the homepage tab in the upper right-hand corner for the best deals. Okay. So,
well, thanks for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed this. But we'll be here, like she said, every Saturday at 7:30, and then it'll be on the streaming platforms. So
to celebrate our first month on the air, we're giving away a silver mystery box worth $500 and more to runners-up. So tune in every Saturday during the month of September, and during each episode, we're going to share a secret phrase. So today's phrase is simply our website, cmigs.com.
But everybody gets a prize.
Yes. So collect all 4 secret phrases from each show, and at the end of the September, after the last phrase is provided, email us with all correct phrases and your preferred shipping address at info@cmigs.com. The first person to email us all 4 correct phrases wins the $500 silver mystery box.
Mystery box.
Packed with $500 worth of precious metal. cmigs.com is today's key phrase. The next 5 fastest receives a limited edition 1-ounce CMI silver round, and every correct entry after that gets a free gift just for playing. We're going to send you something.
Well, and then we got some pretty good swag, so it's worth emailing into us, and we promise that we don't sell your information. We're not going to bug you. It's going to be a one and done.
Yes. So contest details are available at cmigs.com. Search Johnny on the Spot in our website search bar. Good luck.
All right. Yeah, thanks and good luck, and we'll see you next Saturday.